So hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Daniel.
I'm Jennifer.
And this is Cherish the Journey. Today we are going to talk about pop-ups and our experience in what we had, as we had two pop-ups, a smaller one, an 86 Coleman pop-up, and then we switched from that. We upgraded to a bigger one because we wanted a little bit more room than what we had. So what do we have to talk about today?
So we're going to talk about what to expect when you're either researching for a pop-up or you're actually going out there and looking at pop-ups, whether it's with a dealership or a private seller. We're going to kind of give you a couple tips of what to look out for. We're also going to talk about a couple of campgrounds that may not allow pop-ups just because of wildlife, bears, things like that. We're also going to talk about our experience, like Daniel said, with the two pop-ups that we had and what that looked like for us.
Yep.
So why don't you take it away, Daniel?
All right. So when you are looking at pop-ups, you're exploring for private sellers, you want to make sure that you go over everything pretty much with a fine-tooth comb. You want to make sure that nothing's leaking, that there's no water damage. You want to make sure the canvas is in good shape, that if it's something that if there is a few tears or rips, if you want to repair them or not, because canvases do get expensive to replace for brand new, not to mention the headache of trying to replace it as well. We thought about that on one of ours and we didn't want to do it. So we looked at it and it just was not feasible for us to do by ourselves, or that we wanted to do it. So that's one of our biggest tips, is the canvas, because that is one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive piece on a pop-up, is the canvas, because you have multiple sides. The whole canvas in itself, probably anywhere from $500 to $1,000. Those are rough estimates, so each product is different. Each dealer make model is different, so they have different price points. Second of all, obviously, the roof. You want to inspect the roof, make sure that there's no holes in there, that it's not going to leak on you, making sure that, yeah, just the integrity of it is intact. Ask questions about it. The other thing you want to do is the lift system. So saying that because it's a pop-up, so it's going to pop up all the way. So you want to, when you go and buy one, you want them to demonstrate it all the way from closed, show all the way that it's opened, and so on. You want them to put the door on. Ask them to do a whole complete setup when you go in and you're negotiating or looking at these. You want to make sure that the beds slide out, that there's no binding when you pull these beds out. You want to make sure that they come out and they stop. One of the ones that we had, you could pull that bed all the way out and it would fall out. So that's a big, huge thing, because you don't want to be sleeping in the bed and then it just slides out and now you just fell out onto the ground from yay height. Might hurt.
Especially if you're buying a brand new pop-up and you've never used a pop-up before, maybe you tent camp or maybe you want to rent a pop-up. You want them to show you all of these things because you may not know, and especially the door. We had such difficulty figuring out the door. because it's not like a trailer where it's already connected and you open it. You actually have to take this door off of the roof inside and actually slide it into the little sections that are made for it. So that's definitely one thing you want to make sure. Just make sure they show you the ins and outs. That way you know what you're doing when you get out to your destination or you get out to wherever you're going. So that way it's not a pain in the neck for you and it's not extra work for you. That way you can just kind of set up, be ready, and start to enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
So like with anything, when you're buying something, make sure it's not an impulse. Daniel and I actually impulsively bought both of our pop-ups.
Yeah.
And as time went by, we regretted it. Yes, it was great, but we were just so excited to upgrade from a tent that we didn't take the time to research. We didn't take the time to think about what we wanted. We just found something and said, oh, that's what we want, and got it.
Yep.
And then it wasn't exactly what we wanted, I think. But when you get a pop-up, if it has a cassette toilet, one more piece of advice, make sure you know how big that tank is that holds your waste before you go out. We went out for a whole week with some friends and family for a 4th of July, and we did not think about our holding tank. We didn't think about how big it was, and we kind of went a little over, and it was not fun to clean up. So just make sure you look at that and you know what to expect for how long you're going out. You unfortunately may have to take it and dump it before you continue to use your cassette toilet. So please, please, please make sure that you look into that and find out how big and what you're looking at with that. So impulse buying, please don't do it. Make sure you do your research and that you really could see yourself staying in what you're going to be in for a little while. I mean, that's up to you guys. Some people like to just test them out. So they buy them, they have them for a little bit, and then they sell it and they go to the next thing, just so that way they can kind of get that experience of the different, like the pop-up and the RV and the fifth wheel and even the pull behind travel trailer. So just make sure that you think about what you want and what would be right for you guys.
Yep. Our next point is air conditioners on bigger pop-ups. Some of them have the rooftop air conditioner, which is great, works wonderful. Others don't. So we didn't want to spend the money to have one installed, and we thought, well, let's try one of these portable standing units that has the exhaust vent. So we tried that. It worked, not too well, but it worked for one side. So it was just kind of miserable during the day. At night it was perfect because we didn't need it, but you still needed a generator if you're not going to be at a site where there's hookups. So you need to run a generator to run the air conditioner. And that was all right. Like I said, we made do, but it was just
it was an experience.
It was an experience. So that's one of the things we thought. Well, it's a pop-up. It has all the flaps, all the windows come down, and when it's hot and you're in Arizona and it's like 80 degrees, that thing heats up.
Especially when there's no breeze.
When there's no breeze, yeah. So, a little windy here.
Yep. That wind picked up pretty quickly. So just a few other experiences that we had with pop-ups. We had the bigger pop-up that we had, the Starcraft. We had a leak happen. We had gone out camping with some friends, and we woke up the next morning to find water all over our floor.
Yeah.
And we tried to look for the leak, and we could not find out where it was coming from. And we had never had that happen. We'd only had this pop-up for 3 months, and that was the first time it had happened. And we couldn't figure out where it was coming from. We couldn't figure out the solution to the problem. So that was kind of at the point where we decided we were going to switch to a travel trailer. And get rid of the pop-up, and we absolutely love our travel trailer. I don't exactly feel like the travel trailer that we have now was an impulse buy. We did get it very quickly, but like I said, we fell in love with it. It's been good to us.
Yep.
We've had some great memories in it, and we will be upgrading again to, we're hoping a fifth wheel here in hopefully the next year. But for right now, what we have is amazing, and
Yep.
we'll show you a picture of that in this video. And then please stay tuned for our next video, because we will actually be taking you on a live tour of the current camper that we have and kind of what we do when we are out camping in it. So we're very excited for that. We hope that you guys will join us
Yes.
for that live tour.
Yeah, and like you said, a lot of great things coming up. So guys, make sure hit the like button, comment, subscribe. Really helps out the channel.
And if you want to be notified when we post a new video, hit that bell icon. That will let you know once we post a new video.
Exactly.
So I think, is that it for today?
That's it.
I think that's it for today. Well, we hope you enjoyed this video. We hope you enjoyed the beautiful view in the background. And we will be doing more of these outdoors. We'll be showing you what Arizona looks like, hikes that we go on, places we go camping. So we hope that you will follow us on this journey and stay tuned for upcoming fun events. Always remember to cherish the journey and cherish the moment that you're in. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Bye.